Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Welcome to my studio. Oh, I said my studio. Oh, I need to get my studio back on track. Because I've been in this space, but I don't have all my art equipment and everything here. Because I've been here for quite a few months now, but I'm in a completely different state, so it's a long way away, and all my stuff is in storage in another state. So. I don't know why I'm even telling you this, but welcome to my channel is what I was trying to say. Welcome back to all my subscribers, and welcome to any new subscribers, and thank you very much for being here. Thank you for all my likes, shares, subscribes, comments, and donations. It's all very, very helpful for me, and I really do appreciate it. Anyway, Holy Spirit, Holy Ancestors, I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's well. I went up, I thought I'll go up at like 4 o'clock this morning, and I thought I'll go up on the mountain and do some meditation. But up on the hill there's this like big water tank, and we've had a lot of rain, so I thought I'll go up there and meditate. It's beautiful up there, the sun comes up right, but no, freaking mosquitoes. It was like the mosquitoes were so bad, I couldn't stay. It was just like crazy, and they're still here. I don't have fly screens in the windows either, so it's like, it's not as bad down here, but up there it was just like insane because of the water tank there. So anyway, let's get into it. Holy Spirit, Holy Ancestors, what does the collective need to know today? Please give us a clear and concise message. Please open up my channel and keep that crown chakra happening, please, Holy Spirit. Keep it open so that I can channel for the collective. What messages do they need to know today? Please keep us protected during this reading, myself and the collective. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. All negative energy projections will be returned to sender or dissolved into the ether, deemed ineffective as the Holy Spirit may seem fit. So let's get into it. Distraction. So yes, it's very muddy. Been storming because it's the wet season up here now. I'm in the Northern Territory in Australia, and the wet season is very wet, and all the insects come out, like these bugs are like crazy. Let's start off with the Queen of the Moon Oracle. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, so we're in a new moon, so we've just moved into a new moon, so I hope that everybody has put out their manifestations for this new season, new season. It's a new moon. It's a new moon. It's a new cycle, right? So it's that time to put out your manifestations and keep it pure. We don't want any dark energies. People when they do their manifestations, it's about, it's got to be a pure intent, right? I know a lot of some people, they do rituals and things by the moon, but their intentions are not right, and at this time it's too dangerous to be doing shit like that. It's always going to backfire if you have negative intentions for others, not the time for that anymore, because it's just going to backfire. You know, what goes around comes around. You know, as soon as you put something out there, it will come back. Like I said, immediately return to sender, right? Negative intentions. You know, everything is seen. You know, people just think they're in their own little space and they're in their own privacy, but spirit's all around us, right? All of us. That's what this ether is. We're never alone, right? We're never alone. We can't get away with anything, and we shouldn't want to. You know what I mean? Just that idea of wanting. You know, that's you know, it usually comes with jealousy and envy, and you know, hatred, and you know, it's unnecessary. And we've got 10. Number 10 is discernment. So one needs to use their discernment. Somebody does have some clouded vision, right? So here we have the end of the cycle with the number 10. See, mosquitoes. And somebody here needs to go within, use their discernment in deciphering what is for them and what is not, because we need to dispel anything that doesn't serve us anymore, right? Things that are not good for us, get rid of it. You know, bad habits, or you know, like negative people around, or anything that's not doing one any good. Even places can be very bad for you, you know what I mean? Because they can be full of negative energy, you know, and they can overwhelm you. So somebody just still has some clouded vision here, like this cloud across the face. And they need to go within and feel what's going on inside themselves, feeling the energy. Discernment. Yeah, how does things, you know, to get the discernment of something, like say if you're not sure possibly about a person or a place or whatever, you have to kind of like go into that quiet place. You know, you have to go into quiet and you have to feel what's happening inside yourself. To, you know, like if you know there's negative energy around you, you can feel it in your body, you know what I mean? Like, you have to pay attention to all the feelings that you feel inside yourself. And this is a problem when it comes to like medications, or even just, you know, like any kind of drug addictions and things like that, that numbs the senses so that you can't feel, you know. I know a lot of people, you know, have substance abuses because they are trying to like get rid of their feelings, because there's some sort of past energy that needs to be healed, but you need to feel it to be able to heal it, you know what I mean? To be able to disperse the energy and move on from it. And so this is like, yeah, so somebody's got some clouded, that cloudedness in the mind detaches you from your body, so you need to reattach. So, and what happens, like say if somebody has a lot of substance abuse because they've most people have experienced some past trauma in one way or another. That's the majority of us, right? Like, don't think I know anybody that hasn't, but anyway, when it's very extreme, like from a child or whatever, or just extreme trauma, it causes a disassociation from the physical body, right? You disassociate. So, and then when anything triggers a memory of whatever that trauma is, it immediately disassociates, and then you become less able to discern things, you know what I mean? Like, less able to come back into the bottom and ground yourself, and because that's when people, when they get triggered, they go off, right? Like, a lot of the time. Some people actually go and withdraw, but that is when they're going into their feelings. But when people disassociate, they need to actually come back into the body and feel those feelings to be able to discern what the triggers are, because a lot of the time the people don't know what their triggers are. They don't even know why they're feeling a certain way, you know what I mean? And they have all these feelings about somebody or an incident, or can be anything that triggers, because usually it's the trigger comes when the trauma's happened. It's whatever is around them, or what they associate the trauma with is a trigger. You know what I mean? It can be a vision, it can be a sight, it can be a smell, it can be a person, it can be words, something that somebody says that may trigger some people into to re-experiencing the trauma again. So they will disassociate from themselves, so they don't have to feel that, you know what I mean? But we have to actually feel to be able to move away from that's not actually good for us, you know? So you have to feel it to be able to discern. You understand? I hope I'm explaining that okay. I'm not sure whether I am. Okay. What else we got here, please? Attract. And so that we can attract what we do want and not what we don't want. Alright? And this is number 44. Balance, attraction. Yeah. Gaining that balance. This is somebody is coming, somebody's in this void, right? Somebody's going through, somebody's in the early stages of healing. Number 1, the void. It's like a black hole. Look at the moon. It's dark. So we're just coming out of that and we're going into a new moon. So, yes, so somebody might be just coming out of this void, this depression, this going within, going into the dark night of the soul and actually looking at all those triggers, you know, that's what that is. And discerning what needs to be expelled and what is to be kept. You know, that could be things, places, or people, right? Somebody's doing that. Yeah. And then they're going to be able to attract what they do want. So this is getting rid of what you don't want and actually recognizing it. And this is attracting what you do want. But that's what one needs to focus on, is what they do want and not what they don't want. Because if you focus on what you don't want, that's what you're going to get, right? Because you focus on it. That's what's going to come to you. So I've got this cup here with these children, and I have no idea who these children are, because this place that I'm at, you know, like it has all the stuff was here. And I broke my queen cup, which was here. So now I've got this cup with these children, but I have no idea who these children are. So it's kind of weird, right? I don't know why. How are these mosquitoes? Okay, what else here, please, Spirit? It's so beautiful and fresh here today. Ooh, we had big rain last night again. Balance. So again, this person's got this cloud over their eyes, look. Twice. And the ball as well. This is going within. Somebody's gaining their vision. They may be using the cycles of the moon. It is a good idea, right? That's interesting that both of those are clouded. Somebody's very clouded in their mind. Very clouded. I think somebody might be on some sort of medication that is clouding their mind, you know. Could be clouding that pineal gland that needs to be cleared, like drinking like good water and you know, staying away from fluoride, toothpaste, aluminium in like deodorants and things like that. The blockers in medications. Depending on what the medications, I can't say to people, you know, don't have medication or whatever, because everyone's got different issues and different things for whatever, right? Personally, I don't do medications at all. I always manage to be able to just heal myself. I'm not going to go into all that, but and it can also be in the food, you know, like eating preservatives and food with like emulsifiers and things like that in it. A lot of bread and stuff like that has emulsifiers and additives and preservatives. So you've got to be very mindful of what types of breads or any kind of food, like even like sauces and things like that have a lot of stuff in them that are not good for, you know, like the cloud demand. Lollies and sugar, a lot of sugar, you know, like you get a build-up of candida in the system and that just whacks everything out, right? Like your metabolism, everything. So too much sugar and carbohydrate can really, but mostly it's the preservatives. And well, when you think of sugar, it's a preservative, right? So refined sugars are the ones that aren't good. You know, sugars in fruits and things like that are okay. And well, even salt, you know, like refined salt, too much of that can is also a preservative, you know, and then you can preserve the wrong things inside oneself. Anyway, obviously we have to have a certain amount of salt, like especially in like the tropics when you're sweating, but it's got to be, you know, like it's got to be good pure salt, right? Not the refined stuff. Yeah, any foods that are processed. And yeah, and then full of preservatives. Well, obviously somebody needs to hear this. I feel that most of the people in the collective know this sort of stuff, otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? And you know, like, to get oneself into balance, we've got somebody surrounded by beauty. The number 20 is here. Ooh. Yeah, I'm working on my shoulder issues at the moment. Beauty. Yeah, so once this is what somebody wants to attract. Somebody won't be working on themselves physically, working on their own inner beauty. You work on the inner beauty, you know, your inner sides, your insides, the way you feel, the way you project, the way you are towards the world and others. What you project is what you are, is how you come across to people. And if you want to come across with all this beauty, then one has to be beautiful on the inside to be able to project on the outside. It doesn't work any other way, you know what I mean? Some people can be like physically beautiful, but most people with discernment can, you know, like if somebody's like, if their heart's wrong, if their heart's heavy, you know how when people's heart's heavy, like when people are going through trauma and sadness and grief and that kind of thing, it's very difficult to keep that the beauty when somebody's feeling low. You know, when people are feeling low, when their frequency is low and down and miserable, the face goes that way. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you know what I mean. Or if somebody's angry, they get an angry looking face, and that's not beautiful, right? Or they get you know, like all those types of expressive emotions. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't have all those, because we all, you know, have all the emotions, right? But it's about being able to control those emotions and deal with things with grace. You know what I mean? You know, when you see somebody going off about something and they're screaming, it's ugly, right? It's really ugly. It's not. But if somebody has an issue, so if somebody's angry about somebody and they deal with it in grace, with grace, they will actually speak calmly and directly and with discernment, with discernment. Is that the right word? You know, it's just one needs to be open and direct and speak out about something without losing grace. You understand? And not, like dealing with emotions with dignity is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Because you can really, really see a heavy heart that's full of hatred in one's face. It doesn't matter how pretty somebody is, it's the expression that comes from. And here we have some wisdom with the 22 at the bottom of the deck. This is wisdom. Okay. Let's see. I might just get a little message from the fairies today. I was thinking about the fairies last night when I was in my meditation, and I actually put out my manifestations, and yeah, I realised I hadn't acknowledged the fairies for a while. Fairies have been in my life since I was a little tiny one, and I used to have these really bad dreams as a little kid. I was always going down these tunnels. So anyway, I won't go into all that, but I used to wake up, you know, crying, and I remember my mum. So my mum has an Irish ancestry, and she was, you know, brought up with the fairies, right? And she used to talk a lot about fairies, and especially in certain places, you know what I mean? Certain places out in the bush. We used to live out in the bush, and you know, and anyway, and she would console me with saying, "Oh, think about the fairies. You know, like the fairies are beautiful." And I've got pregnancy here. Somebody's pregnant. Anyway, she'd say, think about the fairies, you know, because after these nightmares. So I used to go to bed, and it became a ritual almost, where I would lie in bed to go to sleep, and I would just be going very, 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 and it used to put me to sleep, right? And I was at peace. So I used to call on the fairies all the time as a little kid. And anyway, when I got to sort of like, I don't know, would be about 12, 13 or something like that, and I was still doing it, right? And then I discovered this book in the library about these fairies, but it had all these really scary fairies in it. Like Jen, she was one who stood out, was Jenny Greenteeth, you know, and she was this horrible fairy that lived in the creek and came out and you know, like if little children went to the edge of the water, she'd come out and grab you, you know what I mean, and drown you. It was things like that. And of course then I was like, oh no, like how am I going to get to sleep now with all these horror fairies in my mind that I was calling on? So, see, it's really important. But you see, because my mind was pure, innocent, right? And I had this ideal of the fairies all being beautiful and nice and friendly, right? But because I'm thinking that way, they were that way, right? It wasn't until my mind was influenced by this book with these horrible fairies in it that it brought everything back to being focused on the negative, you see? And so that really spoiled my vision of the fairies. So it was like a corruption of the mind, you know what I mean? So yeah, so it's very, very important about what we intake, you know, what we read, what we look at, what we watch on TV, what music we listen to. So all these things are really important as to how we are influenced in the mind. But yeah, so, you know, on a spiritual sense, when we are calling on, so we call for the Holy Spirit and we talk to Jesus, because we know that Jesus was a good guy, right? You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to be calling on any negative energies in our prayers, you know, because that's when we're going to get ourselves into some strife. Get drowned in the river. Anyway, let's get back to our reading. So, I just split the deck and we've got pregnancy. So, the birth of a child brings great blessings to you and the world. Wow, someone's going to have a child. So this could be you or somebody else, you know, like if you're up in years like me, obviously you're not going to be having a baby, but it also could mean that, you know, birthing an idea, you know, like something coming to fruition, you know. But it could also be that, you know, somebody might be getting a grandchild or something like that, or niece or nephew or something. Business venture. So we have, so this one, for somebody here, it's a business venture. Trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. So for somebody here, that's what it is. So somebody, it's actually a physical pregnancy, and others, it can be business. It could be both. Okay, let's see. What do you got for us, fairies? Or good fairies, please. A new home. Somebody's going to get a new home. Moving is a step in the right direction for you. So somebody is moving, and that looks like a nice place with all those beautiful flowers and things. What else? Somebody's moving to a new home. Discernment. So this is coming with discernment. So this is, you know, like somebody having to make a decision, you know, and where. It looks like it's going to be a good idea. Oh, that's cool. Good boy. A new career. Your work focus is shifting in a positive, new and successful direction. And that is coming under the void. So somebody might have, you know, a business venture is there, and somebody is, the fairies are saying patience. So somebody is in the void. They might be waiting for a reply to a work, you know, something. A job application or something like that. Somebody's been told to have patience because it is here. There is somebody is getting a job here. New career, attraction, the law of attraction. Attraction, somebody's definitely pregnant. somebody wants to, it was, like I said, this pregnancy in the physical or actual work and that kind of thing. So birthing new ideas, attracting what one desires. This is manifestation. We have, whom do you need to forgive? Now this is the letting go, right? This is where clarifying what needs to go and what one needs to keep. And even if somebody's moving house, one needs to discern what to leave behind and what to keep. But yes, somebody needs to forgive somebody. As you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. So yeah, on the release of people, places and things, forgiveness, forgiving oneself. It's usually always about forgiving oneself for being hurt in the first place, right? Because people often blame themselves for whatever they may experience, you know. And quite often people will blame others and themselves, for allowing others to deceive them or to hurt them or whatever it may be. So quite often people think, oh, I don't want to forgive that person, but mostly it's about forgiving oneself and letting go and forgiving that person, because that's a person too, right? Because everybody does stupid shit, right? Because they're people until they learn their lessons, right? We've got to understand that everyone's at different levels as well, you know. So just remembering that, it's like, you know, like a little toddler, you know. I don't know why I'm seeing this, but anyway, you know, like little toddlers, little babies and that, it's seeing everything for the new, like, right? Everything's new and there to be experienced, and they have to do things to learn, like, say, putting their hand on the hearth sort of thing, and they might burn their hand, you know what I mean? But they have to learn that lesson before they stop doing it, you know what I mean? And it's like that all through life, all lessons. But if we can think of ourselves as being that toddler and just to, you know, like tripping over a hose or whatever, next time you know that the hose is there or something's there that you're not going to fall over, you know what I mean? So it's learning a lesson, or you roll that bloody hose up so that you don't trip over it, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's forgiving others for making mistakes and that as well as yourself. It's very important to forgive oneself. For learning, I mean, it's ridiculous when you think of it like that. Forgive oneself for learning lessons, right? A dietary change. So somebody, I was talking a lot about the diet, wasn't I? You know, like about, you know, clouding people's minds. There's a lot of things in the foods that we need to be aware of that fogs your mind, right? Improve your diet and life will also improve. So, yeah, not too many of those cakes and things that have refined sugars. If you're making it home, you know, you can use alternative ingredients and whatnot that are going to be good. And tea, I don't drink black tea with the tannin, because the tannin makes me throw up, right? And it also it is a caffeine, right? So it's addictive. I drink the Rubius tea, which is a red African tea, but it doesn't have the tannin or the caffeine in it. So, and it's like green tea. So I don't like green tea either, because it's got that tannin in it that makes me throw up, right? But the red one doesn't. So, but it's an antioxidant, you know, like of the same value as green tea. So I don't know, there's some advice there for somebody. Gaining balance and beauty, and that'll come. Oh, somebody's getting married. Yeah. The fairies join you to celebrate wedding bliss. Fairies and unicorns. And this is balance and beauty. Marriage. Lovely. Assertiveness. Stand up for your beliefs and only say yes if you really want to. So there you go. And was I not saying that? And that's doing it with grace. And being able to say no with grace. No thank you. Doesn't matter what it is. No thank you. Okay, what cards are we going to use today? I'm going to go with the crows. I really love my crows. There's a lot, the images with the crow deck here, it's got really good images that, evoke a lot of clarity. See, the light is good too. Well, they all are really, but I really do like the crow ones today. So yeah, somebody does need to be careful of what they're overindulging in, the Nine of Cups there, because it's clouding their mind. Whatever their indulgence is, whoever's watching. Let's clarify this discernment and the new home. There'll be no regret moving. Somebody's going to be moving and there's going to be no regrets. Okay? Clear and avoid the void. Somebody's been broken hearted. So with this new move and this new career, somebody's going to lighten up. You know what I mean? Somebody's heart is going to elevate. It's going to soften and become lighter and elevate somebody's energy. Somebody's going to elevate and elevate in their job. Right? Attracting ideas, pregnancy and ideas. So somebody's imagination's going to go off too. Somebody's imagination. Oh, there's an Emperor here in reverse. Attract. So we have an Emperor in reverse. I hope we're not attracting an arrogant person here. But this might be for this Emperor in reverse. Could be going through a tower. So this Emperor in reverse could actually be going for a tower because somebody here in the collective is actually pregnant, attracting what they want, and somebody else is going through a tower about that. Or this Emperor might be shocking themselves in attracting what they want, but I don't know how. I think this is somebody going through a tower because somebody else is attracting what they want. Balance. Whom do you need to forgive? So this person, I feel, this Emperor in reverse, needs to gain some balance and clarity. This is the person that needs to detox. Well, we all do, right? But somebody in particular here needs to gain some balance and they need to forgive themselves. We've got a King of Cups here, overindulging. See, look, all that stuff in the cups, they're overdoing it, and that's why they need to forgive themselves and stop trying to mask something here because it's giving them a clouded vision. And they're going through a tower with this. This person needs to forgive themselves and others. And their heart will become lighter. Have a Queen of Pentacles. I'm sure that was trying to come out in reverse. It's coming out sideways. This could also be somebody who needs to gain some balance. I'm going to put her in the upright. I'm going to take it that this person is forgiving themselves and others. Clarify the beauty with the dietary change. So the beauty comes with the dietary change as well, you know. Yeah, the diet, the ending. It's ending something that somebody's been consuming, that's not good for them. We have a High Priestess in reverse. This is negativity has been exposed. Four of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Somebody might be getting a new house, but somebody's being very negative about it. Somebody might be buying a house and somebody's being very negative to them about it. If this is for you, just disregard whoever's being negative. Now this is the release, right? Release that person. Move away from that person who's being negative like that. They're bringing someone down. They're bringing someone's energy down. They're preventing them from, you know, changing things. By the marriage. King of Cups. A King of Cups might be getting married. Well, they want to. So, but they have to end something first. So this is the new house, right? So somebody's definitely getting, because somebody's moving. Yeah, this is like a resurrection. Wow. This is like this death here. Somebody's given up all these bad things and they're moving with the dietary change and the beauty here. They're really, somebody's really healing themselves. And this is like giving up all the old, leaving that skeleton behind, and they're rising up. And that's what I was getting with the broken heart here. That heart is going to lift. And with that, their whole physical appearance and everything is going to change. Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, they're coming out of this bondage. That's lovely. So the sorry. So and then this person's going to get married. Lightening their heart. Okay, no regrets about this moving. Nine of Swords in reverse. Clarify. Nine of Swords in reverse. This is actually giving me a really good vibe, this reading, and I'm really pleased to be getting the end of the darkness. There's no regret moving away from this. Could be moving away from those addictions, those things that were not serving oneself. Knight of Wands, taking action to end things, new cycle. Queen of Cups, somebody might need to end something with a Queen of Cups to get away from all that negativity. Yeah, somebody needed to move away from negativity, and for somebody here it was somebody that was around them. Somebody needed to move away from someone. Three of Swords. Clarify the Three of Swords. You know, it's very, very hard to let go of people, right? Yeah, let go of the burdens. Shifting that energy to be able to get out of the void. This is for somebody who's moved and changed careers. Letting go of the burden. There's no need to be holding on to something that is making somebody very, very heavy. Okay? It's always about how heavy is your heart, right? You know, that's what happens with judgment. You know, we've always been weighed up. The heart's been weighed with a feather, you know. Is your heart as light as a feather? And then we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Ooh-wee. Somebody's juggling. Try and make a decision on what their happiness is. But with this move and this change of career, letting go of the negative, releasing what does not serve one anymore, then comes along the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. So, Emperor in reverse, why have you got in this extreme tower? Extreme tower, because somebody's attracting what they want, or this is what they're going to realise. Yeah, move away from all that negativity. Move away from, yeah, somebody's letting go of those Ten of Swords that's been sabotaging themselves for years, I hear. Look at all those swords. This is self-sabotage. Queen of Cups. Somebody's had to let go of a Queen of Cups, whatever that be. They're very sad. Could be a Virgo here with the Queen of Pentacles. Balance. Whom do you need to forgive? If somebody in here needs to forgive somebody, they need to forgive themselves. They might be expecting forgiveness from someone else, or they might be expecting an apology from somebody else, but they may not actually be deserving of that. Queen of Pentacles. There might be a bit of a dispute. They need to balance themselves. They're foggy in the mind. But somebody's gaining the balance, but somebody's got a heavy heart. Could be a Virgo, could be a Capricorn, could be a Taurus. Somebody could be coming out of Hermit. Five of Cups. Who needs to be forgiven here? Star. Somebody needs to forgive a star. Could be an Aquarius. Or somebody needs to forgive themselves for... This seems silly, isn't it? Somebody needs to forgive themselves for being happy. Or they need to forgive someone for being happy. That's weird. Somebody might be blaming somebody for something. Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. There's a love. There's love here. Somebody wants to add to somebody's cup of love. Somebody wants to add to somebody. Now that's how it should be, right? When somebody's coming, because we've got this marriage coming up here. Somebody's sad about it. They may be jealous. Somebody needs to forgive themselves. Okay, death and transformation. This is what this is. This is an actual transformation. Letting go of something is going to bring somebody a whole lot of beauty, a whole lot of beautiful experience. Yeah. And this is justice. So somebody's letting their guard down to experience. Yeah, somebody's had their guard up. So this is justice. So somebody's going to experience beauty that they may never have experienced before. The Fool, we have a High Priestess in reverse, is not getting a new beginning with someone. They might be scrambling to try and stop somebody from moving forward. Or this could be in the past energy, they might have been doing this. I don't feel like they're doing it now. I feel like they've come to a realisation, and that's why they're very sad, and they're weighing up their own heart here. So this is either this Emperor in reverse, or it could be a Queen of Pentacles, could be a Capricorn, Virgo or Taurus, or we could have an Aries, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Okay, clarify this King of Cups. I feel like this King of Cups wants to get married, or they're getting married. King of Cups and marriage. Clarify the King of Cups. Juggling. They may be feeling like they haven't got enough. Maybe for a marriage. Somebody is juggling their finances here. And it could have been because of overindulgences. Two of Pentacles, clarify the Two of Pentacles. Clarify the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, somebody's finances are in reverse. This could be stopping them from, I don't know, making an offer because they're short of money. But we've got the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck and work. So that's a good sign that there is work here. Okay. Clarify the Devil in reverse. So somebody's not having any regrets about giving something up. Oh yeah, the house, moving house. Somebody's no longer waiting. A King of Pentacles is coming out of Hermit. They're weighed up their heart, they're letting go of burdens. So somebody's letting go of burdens of the past. And they're going to make somebody an offer with the Knight, and it's solid. There's a solid offer. So somebody's been weighing up themselves. They're coming out of Hermit. They're this is somebody from the past, or could be family. Oh, excuse me. They're going to move, and they're no longer waiting around. They're going to make an offer, and this is a solid offer. But the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse at the bottom of the deck with the Queen of Cups. They're not going to give to a Queen of Cups anymore. So somebody was giving to a Queen of Cups. They might have been a player here, moving quickly, and we've got the Queen of Swords. They might be moving quickly towards a Queen of Swords where there was no victory. Clarify the Emperor in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse. They're coming out of Hermit quickly. They're very emotional about, so they're actually going through a tower because they're very emotional here about what they, you know, all these swords that they've sabotaged themselves with. Queen of Cups in reverse. King of Pentacles. Because it's left them in poverty and out of balance, so they're not grounded. They're over emotional and ungrounded. Yeah. Clarify this star. What is this Queen of Pentacles sad about? A star, a Queen of Swords. So Gemini, Libra or Aquarius. It's giving me Gemini. Somebody's sad about a Gemini. They're weak. They've got some sort of knowledge, or they're spying that somebody's not part of a group. Okay, so what is the release and the justice? Somebody's got their guard down and they're releasing. They're releasing and they're, I heard receiving. Releasing and receiving. And that's somebody dropping their guard. They're definitely lightening their heart and dropping the burdens. This is justice. And this is going to bring them into a beautiful energy. They might actually see that they actually are quite beautiful, you know, which they may not have felt that way about themselves before because they were hiding themselves from themselves. That's weird. Page of Pentacles. They're at a new beginning. So they've left themselves in poverty, but this is a new beginning moving forward. You know, it's like starting off with that one pentacle that one has and then working on that to grow. Yeah, but at least somebody's going in the right direction and that's up. Somebody's raising their frequency. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, and here we have the Lovers. And then there is a union. Because we've got marriage here, moving forward. With truth and honesty. Wow, that's beautiful. Feeling really good energy. They've been stuck. They've been stuck on the truth, like, but now they're breaking free. And they're moving forward with the truth. I think somebody's feeling more confident about being honest with themselves. I hope I'm being loud enough for you. So clarify this Six of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody's made a decision to temper their overindulgence because that was not victorious. So whatever it is they were overindulging in was not victorious. It kept them stagnant. But now they've made a decision and it kept them juggling money all the time, you know? Two of Swords in reverse. So what is the decision? To get a new beginning, Ace of Wands. Or is that in reverse? That's in the upright. So the Ace of Wands. So somebody has made a decision to take a whole new passion, to run with a whole new passionate beginning. And because we've got the Lovers here, and that's landing on top of the marriage, and there's the offer, love offer. Somebody's made a decision. I think they're going to make this decision whether they've got money or not. They don't, because they don't want to miss an opportunity. High Priestess in reverse, weak, as they were weakened by a High Priestess in reverse. They were weakened by past decisions. They were weakened by, somebody could have been doing, they were weakened by black magic. Manipulation. They may have been very manipulative in the past. This is what they, had to forgive themselves. Now, black magic can be manipulation, right? Manipulation and, you know, like projecting negativity onto others. So this could be the person that's been let go of that was projecting negativity onto somebody. So now they're open to a whole new passionate beginning. Yeah, they're no longer waiting. So what is the Ace of Wands? What is this new beginning? Single single, self-sufficient and abundant. My right ear is going right off. It's ringing out of control. Or they might be moving towards somebody, or they might be wanting to be loyal to somebody here that's single. They're moving towards somebody that's single. This is the transformation with the butterfly there as well. This is nice. Look, we've got the dog, which is loyalty. We've got the transformation. We've got abundance and sunshine, which is happiness. They're seeing it now. And the tree, this strength and wisdom with the tree in the background. I never really noticed that tree in the background there before, but that's like strength and wisdom and purity with the lilies there. It's pure. This is pure bliss. So somebody wants to support somebody here that's single and in this energy. That's a really nice energy. Yep, they're moving, they're taking decisive action and they're moving quickly. So they don't want to be single. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, a whole big cup of love. Look at that. Did I not say at the beginning that somebody wanted to add to somebody's cup? And this is pure love. See all those lilies at the bottom there as well? It's abundant, it's overflowing, it's the cup overflowing. That's really nice. Untempered, how was that supposed to come? Yeah, untempered love. This is unconditional love, this is untempered. Page of Cups. Oh. And then we've got sabotage. This is that self-sabotaging belief system. Well, this is somebody else who wants to bring somebody down off of their pedestal. This is this negative Nelly person that wants to bring someone down. Or win at all costs. Is that what it is? Is that what that is? Win at all cost. Overindulging. Page of Cups. Somebody hates this. Somebody here is negative that somebody else is receiving this unconditional love. Somebody is jealous. Who is this Five of Swords? Or what's going on with this Five of Swords? Oh, the moon, someone's exposing a whole bunch of stuff just fell on the floor. I mean, somebody wants to end it for somebody, an empress. Somebody wants to knock someone out. Shit. Somebody is so jealous that they want to knock someone out of their group, out of their house, and get them to walk away. Oh. They want them to walk away from this. What the hell? Yeah, they want them to get away, like move to calmer waters and not receive their offer. I don't know what these two. A Queen of Wands. Hierophant in reverse are getting no victory here. This person's got no jurisdiction. I don't know why I said it like that, but it sounded very legal, didn't it? They got no jurisdiction. This could be somebody in the... It's like somebody wants to knock an empress off her celebrations, you know? Like, somebody wants to end somebody. Make them move away from receiving love. That's really mean. But this person is not getting a victory here. This is somebody who somebody needs to stay well away from. Because like I said, somebody needed to be letting go of what no longer serves them and using their discernment to let someone go here, because this person is trying to stop somebody from receiving love. Right? 3 of Wands. That's what this is. So this person is a Queen of Wands, so it could be a fire sign, could be a Leo, Sagittarius or Aries. And well, we do have an Aries Emperor here who's in reverse, who's going through a tower that they have not been able to balance themselves out with. There could be a couple here with the Queen of Cups and a King of Pentacles in reverse. Well, this could be the same person in their emotions. Somebody's out of balance. They are over emotional. They want to knock someone off, I heard. It's like knocking someone off their pedestal, like, but really, they're overindulging in. They're being exposed though for being an idiot, a fool, because they have no victory here. Because somebody is not going to miss their opportunity. Somebody is not going to hold back from them. And we have a King of Wands here and the High Priestess in reverse. This is this manipulator, weak prick. A weak, immature person trying to do magic on somebody and wound them out of their wheel of fortune, their destiny. Someone's trying to knock someone out of what is meant for them. It's meant for them. So whoever this is needs to just get the hell on, you know what I mean? Get the hell on. Whoever this is jealous and resentful of somebody being beautiful and getting married. What the hell? Let's see who this is, right? Hang on, before I do, I'm going to see, you know, like what is the foundation of this spirit, like, what is evoking this? What is the foundation of this? Because we did have forgiveness, so somebody here needs to forgive somebody fake here. So what is the basis of this hatred? Fake again, I think. Somebody's saying that somebody's fake and they're not sexy, but I think they are. 17. 17 is here. Somebody might have known somebody since they're 17. Somebody's 17. Somebody might have known somebody since they were 17. Or they've had fake again. I'm going to take that out. Somebody's not blocked with their finances. They've not got their finances blocked. So somebody might be trying to block somebody's finances. So somebody's been on somebody's case here since they were 17. Look. I'm not saying it. This is here. And we got rejected, but it's in reverse. So it could be somebody that somebody rejected in the past. They're not fishing And we've got watches. Oh, the watches and the handler. Oh my God. Well, watches and the handler, and somebody needs to be mindful of this family curse. Oh God, because this is war. Oh dear, and the number 7. Now the number 7 keeps coming out. What is the spiritual meaning of number 7? Isn't that like the creation number, the number of creation, like in Genesis, everything is like 7. 7 days. What is it? There's a whole lot of 7s in creation anyway. Somebody didn't want to be rejected. Then water sign, and we came out as a king of cups. There's somebody who's a handler, and look, we've got, oh my God. MK Ultra, this is my hypnotic process. MK Ultra, and the mechanic. Somebody's a mechanic. Draw, fish, draw and fish. Witchcraft. A contract. This could be the marriage contract, bringing blessings. There was a betrayal because someone was doing witchcraft. The marriage was a ritual of witchcraft. To receive somebody's blessings. It was a betrayal here. Somebody could be a mechanic, or there's the mechanics of whatever was going on here. Bottom of the barrel. This person is the bottom of the barrel, or they're on the bottom of the barrel now. This person is a handler and a fake. This person is a killer, and somebody needed to be aware or guarded for their safety here. This is a family curse. Somebody is a marriage ritual. Marriage ritual is a contract of witchcraft, and it involves a family court curse that is at war with someone here. What the hell? Bottom of the barrel. So somebody January, crazy. Somebody's crazy. Somebody's very resentful because somebody's moving on. Somebody's letting go of somebody and somebody's moving on. There could have been a marriage. This can be in the past, right? So this can be a marriage of the past, but somehow something's coming up in the future. Like somebody's associating, or they may be reflecting on a past contract. But somebody's been fake since they were 17. Something about 17. Somebody was a watcher and a handler. And this is giving me this mindfulness, is saying that somebody needs to be mindful that somebody is a killer, because safety is out here as well. Somebody's fake and they are a killer. And somebody's safety is at risk here. Somebody's contract was about receiving someone's blessings. Bottom of the barrel. This person is a handler. Betrayal. War. They're at war. They feel betrayed. It's a Cancer. person needs to move on. This person needs to forgive. This is the person who needs to forgive. Clarify. We've got the blackmail. Blackmail. Someone needs to forgive themselves or they need to forgive others. An Aries. Somebody blackmailing an Aries, or an Aries is blackmailing a Cancer. Who's the killer? Let me put these ones back and see who. I'll leave the blackmail out. Who's the killer? Travel. Somebody wants to stop someone's travel, or they want to take someone out on their travel. An Aries. An Aries is a killer on their travel. Who's being blackmailed? A nephew? A nephew? Somebody's nephew is travelling, possibly to take someone out. Someone's daughter. What the fuck? Somebody's daughter may be getting married. Somebody's sister. Somebody's daughter, somebody's sister. Somebody's travelling. Shit, man. Somebody needs to be very aware here, but I don't want to scare anyone, right? Church, niece. Somebody's niece going to church. Somebody might be praying. Somebody's got somebody under a spell. Somebody's under mind control. Now, going back to that, like with MK Ultra, right? Like this has been going on for many years, but like after World War II, you know, like there was all these experiments on mind control during World War II and afterwards, and I've spoken about this before, but you know, like after the war, a lot of the experiments that the Nazis did and the Japanese did were about mind control, right? And then they were given sovereignty in America, Australia and Canada so that they could continue with their experiments. And and so this is the state that we're actually in now, but it was the mind control was designed to create like spies and assassins and sex slaves, you know, like that, because they can mind control, like I was talking about at the beginning of the reading about how they split the mind and, you know, with trauma, right? And they trigger people to do certain things. That's how they hypnotise them, because they disassociate from themselves when they are triggered. So when they initially have the trauma bestowed upon them, it is designed to split the mind for disassociation, and then they can go out and kill someone or go and spy, and then they can't leak information because they disassociate and they don't remember. And a lot of the times, like a lot of these you know, things where people have been murdered and whatnot, and they always say that it's somebody that's just some nutcase that's just randomly gone and shot somebody up or whatever, or whole groups of people and that kind of thing. But it's actually mind control, because we've got mindfulness here as well, and we had the MK Ultra card came out, and so somebody is watching and they're a handler, and they've been there since somebody was 17 to disassociate this person's mind. This person is the killer, and it's somebody's nephew, and they're travelling towards somebody here. This is witchcraft. Somebody wanted somebody's blessings. This is a betrayal. But this is a dangerous situation. There's a church involved. Libra, could be justice. Who else is involved here? Gemini. Could be Gemini, Libra. Friend. Somebody's friend. Sagittarius. Love interest. So somebody needs to be mindful here that somebody might be wanting to that's coming to somebody's wedding. Somebody's travelling to sabotage, see? And we've got Sagittarius here. It could be Sagittarius, Temperance, untempered, see? Somebody's untempered, so like they're not in control because they want a new beginning. Somebody's broke. This is fake placer. A love interest. So this is a fake lover. Betrayal. Can we have a zodiac for this person, please, Spirit? Someone's homeless. A Capricorn, sister. Somebody's sister. Virgo. Someone wants to take out someone's sister. Could be sister-in-law. Cancer again. Yeah. Who's been blackmailed here? Capricorn. A Capricorn is being blackmailed. Someone's daughter. What are they being blackmailed for, though? Let me put these. What are they being blackmailed for? Yeah. What are they being blackmailed for? March. Something could be going on in March, or something happened in March. The 30th of the 9th, a seeker. Peace. A seeker of peace. Someone's being blackmailed for seeking peace. Got the 30th of the 9th. Something may have happened on the 30th of the 9th. Is that October? Talks about this Aries, a water sign. Well, it can't be an Aries and a water sign as well. Water. Or is this tears, perhaps? Higher self. They're not in their higher self. It's religion. Religion is involved, and they're in their emotions. They're not acting in their higher self here because someone's getting married. somebody's jealous and resentful of somebody getting married. A Capricorn could be being blackmailed by this Aries. This is somebody's, and it's to do with religion and a seeker of peace. I'm going to have to leave this here, right? You're going to take it as it resonates and be very, very careful here. Somebody needs to be aware here, because look at these two together. This is a religious war. Okay? And somebody's safety is at risk here, and it's somebody's daughter. That's a Capricorn. Alright? So I'll leave it there, and I'll see you in the next